Hello. So you want to know how to make water go over an ice. It's a simple thing, and this is just a setup to get the look, or more of just get the process to work. The later parts is just getting the look and tweaking and visuals. So the first thing you want to do, and what I've done to, I feel is a good system to just make a basic, is we just make a box. You of course need it to look ice because this is our object that's going to be hit. And then eventually, and then you want to go and turn that into a RBD object. You want to hopefully the particles to move it around. And you want something to hold your particles. In this case, it's just a tube that's has the end caps, has the top removed. Uh, it really is whatever cup you want. Like you could bring in a file, works fine. Um, you want the materials. You don't need two materials. It's a mistake on my part, but you just need a material so it looks pretty. And then we want a ground plane to uh, catch it. Now, that's just to get the setup of what's going to flow over. Over here, this is going to be our. That's, this is going to be all the setup for all these particles, auto dot, particle fluid. This is going to be where renders, so when you're done, just render there. This is what is going to be emitting our water particles. It just starts with a simple box, transform it, place it wherever you want. Then once you do that, you want to go up all the way to uh, particle fluids. Click on particle fluid. If you're not selecting the object already, it will probably ask you to select the object, hit enter, and it will turn it into a particle object. And that's when it will create the particle interior, fluid interior, excuse me, and particle fluid. Which, as I said, the particle fluid is just the render thing. Um, this brings, of course, the object in. A lot of it will create into the auto dop, and that's when it will create this. The particle emitter creates all that. Of course, RBDs, the ground plane, create the other objects, but that's not needed. Uh, so a lot of the work, of course, particle separation. Once we if we need it a little bit more clear, but that comes in once we get it the look we want. But for now, this is just to get it working. First activation, if you don't need it constantly emitting particles, unless you're going with something that's like a faucet or waterfall or whatever, is the small thing that's having the ice over. Because if you're doing a pitcher thing like something like that, you can't you don't have an infinite water supply in your pitcher pouring on your glass now. It's not realistic. So that's I have that keyed to activate, of course, on one and then end on the frames 50 as we currently have. Um, and of course, it brings in the flip solver. Is created from it, so it's just any other flip solver. Timescale. If you want to get this speed to look like it's slow pouring, you can have it like that. That can also become into what the particles are. But in this case, since it's just a normal speed of 1, you don't need. If I wanted to make it look like it was slower flowing, you can just bring that down to like a 0.5, but and first then it will look like it's flowing lower, slower, calm down, and once it, of course, finishes cooking, it speeds back up. But that is all that's needed just to get a basic water-like over a ice cube setup. Of course, go in, tweak the values, tweak the textures, and light it, camera in it, render it, have a drink of water while you wait, and that will be it. Hope you learn just how to get it set up because that's really the harder part.